Djokovic hasn't decided yet about the ATP Finals. I don't know where Binaghi, got that information from. Definitely not from me or my team. Let that breathe. Because that right there is Novak Djokovic drawing a line in public. For years, tennis politics have lived in private rooms. Tournament organizers, federations, PR men pulling strings behind the curtains, but this time, Djokovic just stepped on stage, pulled the curtain down, and said, "You don't speak for me." And he didn't whisper it. He said it for everyone. Players, media, fans, and especially the suits running this sport like a ticket-selling machine. So, here's what actually happened. Angelo Binaghi, the Italian Tennis Federation president, told reporters that Djokovic was confirmed for the ATP Finals in Turin. Front page quotes, "Ticket promos ready, organizers smiling." But there was one small problem. Djokovic never agreed to play. Not him, not his team, not a single official from his camp said a word, so Novak saw the story. And like only he can, he decided to remind everyone who runs his career. He didn't rant, he didn't throw shade, he just said, "Definitely not from me or my team." The calmness made it worse, because in that moment, he wasn't arguing, he was correcting, and everyone felt it. The silence after that quote was louder than any press conference applause. See, Binaghi isn't some random PR intern. This man's been here before. He once promoted Sinner's Davis Cup appearance after Sinner told him personally he wouldn't play. He sold tickets off a player who wasn't even going to show up. When backlash hit, he went quiet. So this time, with Djokovic and Turin, it felt familiar. Organizers stretching the truth to fill seats, fans seeing through it, and Novak calling it what it is, a lie wrapped in marketing and Reddit, Twitter. Fans were brutal. They called Binaghi everything from a clown to the Italian Craig Tiley. But behind the jokes, there's a real point. These guys are using player names to sell narratives before anything's confirmed. And it works until someone like Djokovic decides he's done playing nice. Look, say what you want about Djokovic, that he's stubborn, controlling, unpredictable, all true in their own ways. But this is the kind of moment that shows why he still commands the room, because he doesn't need to scream for authority. He is the authority. And that's why this entire fake news episode hit so hard, because it wasn't just about Turin, it was about power. The organizers thought they owned the story. Djokovic reminded them that he owns himself. And it's wild how the tennis world reacts every time he asserts that. Fans split immediately. I half love it. Classic Novak doing Novak things. Half roll their eyes. He's being dramatic again. But the truth sits somewhere in between. He's not just defending his schedule, he's defending the idea that players get to decide what happens with their names. And then there's the beautiful chaos around all this. Like the race to Turin soap opera that the fans can't stop watching. You've got Musetti trying to drag his body to the finish line, Felix quietly plotting his comeback, and Djokovic hovering over it all like a chess player who might flip the board just for fun. Fans joked, he's trying to kill Musetti again. He'll withdraw, just to spite them. He's probably watching it all from a yacht. And honestly, it's funny because it's believable. Novak's the kind of guy who could drop a quote like this and vanish for a week, then show up in the finals anyway and win the whole thing in straight sets. But the tension isn't really about if he'll play, it's about why he might not. Some think it's injury, some say it's principle. Others think it's just Novak reminding the ATP that no one, not even the Italian Federation, gets to use his name for PR. And here's the part people forget. Djokovic doesn't need the ATP Finals. He's already the all-time leader in every meaningful stat that matters there. He's not chasing validation, he's protecting independence. Section 5. The bigger message, 1,600 to 1,900 words. If you zoom out, this moment says more about tennis than about Novak himself. Because here's the ugly truth, the sport's becoming a business first, a competition second. Tournaments fight for attention, sponsors fight for headlines, and organizers will stretch anything to look relevant. And players? They're the marketing tools, unless they push back. Djokovic just did. And ironically, that's what makes him both loved and hated. He disrupts. He refuses to be predictable. He refuses to play politics quietly, and even when he's technically saying just one sentence, not for me or my team, he's really saying something bigger. You've built this entire circus on our names. Don't forget who gives it life. You know what's funny? This entire mess, the fake confirmations, the marketing spin, the fans decoding statements like detectives, it all shows how tennis is being run more like a PR campaign than a sport. And honestly, I get it. The ATP needs hype. Tournaments need to sell out. Journalists need a quote before the next headline dies. But man, this isn't the way. Because the more you twist things for clicks, the less the sport feels authentic. And Djokovic, for all the chaos that follows him, is one of the few who still forces authenticity back into the room. When he said, "Definitely not from me or my team," it wasn't just about clarifying a rumor. It was about boundaries. It was him saying, "I decide when I play, not you." And I respect that. He's 38, still running the sport, still being quoted out of context, and still the only guy who has the guts to correct the record publicly because he's not scared of being disliked. And that's something this generation of PR-safe players rarely dares to do. To me, this wasn't just another Novak headline. It was a mirror, a reminder that somewhere between sponsorship deals and social media reels, the people who actually built this sport, the players, are still fighting to keep their own voices. And Djokovic, he just said his louder than anyone else. And so will he play Turin? Probably, maybe. Who knows? But at this point, it doesn't even matter because Djokovic already played his best shot off the court. In one sentence, he reminded the world how this game actually works. Organizers sell names, media spin stories, but the legends, they don't need to advertise. And when Novak Djokovic says, "I never said that," it's not just a quote, it's a warning to every federation that leaks, every journalist that assumes, every tournament that treats players like props. You can't fake what's real, and you can't control Novak Djokovic.